Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do a review. It's not like my usual first impression reviews because I've actually already played a fair amount of the game. So it's just going to be a review. It's going to be a let's play review. So I am going to be playing a bit of the game today, and I'm going to be giving you my running commentary on the game and telling you what I think about the game based on what I have played so far of the game. So I actually got the game, the developers of the game, Funcom, did send me a key for the game like a week ago, basically. Unfortunately, this game is one of those games that has the early access or the pre-early access. I don't know what you can call it. Some people call it a head start, even though I don't think head start is really the correct term in my opinion. It's more like a pay to win start because you could, by paying extra money on top of the $50 that the game already costs. I think you pay something like $70 for the entire thing, something like that. Then you get the quote-unquote head start, the pay-to-win start, which allows you to play the game 5 days ahead of everyone else, ahead of the poor people, basically. And the developers did send me a code for that version of the game, so I have been playing the game for the past week, a little bit on and off. If I look at my Steam quickly to see what my current played time is, it's 8 hours. So my current play time is 8 hours. So I'm not sure when the game actually releases. I think it releases literally today, maybe, meaning like the normal non-pay to win version of the game. Yes, I think it's today that it chose to go the route of the pay to win early head start bullshit, which I definitely don't like. I don't think that that is a good monetization method at all. I really don't like the fact that some developers choose to do that, you know, choose to go the route of paying extra just in order to play the game. It basically feeds on the FOMO of the player, you know, the fear of missing out of the player. And I don't think that's good. That's manipulative, in my opinion. So yeah, like I already played, like I say, 8 hours of the game. I'm not gonna waste your time by only telling you what I think about the game at the end of the video. I can tell you right now that I'm not very impressed by the game in the slightest. It is a very generic open world for the most part, even though the game isn't open world from the beginning. But for the most part, it's open world. It's a very generic open world, almost MMORPG type game, even though there's not like dungeons and stuff like that from what I've seen so far. So it's not really an MMORPG in that way. It's more like you can play the game semi-solo, like kind of solo. I guess we should jump into the game because I'm going to be talking for quite some time. But you can play the game semi-solo, I guess. You can basically play through the game without interacting with other people. A big issue in addition to the pay to win. One, like I said, in my opinion, the monetization strategy, I guess you can say, that Funcom is using in this instance um, is, in my opinion, very scummy. I don't like um, anything pay to win in a game that already costs um, like whatever, $50. This game costs $50. So now they expect you to pay an additional um, whatever, $20 or whatever for the game just to be able to play it earlier, you know? And I just think that's really, really um, scummy, you know? Like, the game is already bloody $50, and then you're expecting the people to pay an additional $20 or whatever. I think that's really not good, you know. Let me just do something over here quickly. 1 second. Does the game not have sound when you alt tab, or what's going on? Because it's not showing sound. This game has some really weird stuff sometimes when it comes to the game capture and the sound and all of that. Okay, well, if it doesn't want to have the sound, then I'll just do that. Activate the sound over there. For some reason, it's not capturing the sound of the game normally, like it normally would. Anyway, like I said, I don't like games that are pay to win, especially not when the game already costs $50. So this game costs $50. And then on top of the $50, the developers expect you to pay an additional $20 or whatever to get the Super Ultra Kamehameha Mega Edition, Vault Hunter Edition of the game. And then that also allows you to play the game 5 days before all of the poor people. And I just don't like that type of monetization in the slightest. So, obviously, in addition to that scumminess, that shittiness, Funcom are also known for a couple of other shitty things that they have done. I mean, you can probably just Google it, and you will probably find out what those things are. I have a thing over here that I put up just to remind myself. So there was a couple of things. I is a kernel anti-cheat, root level kernel anti-cheat, and you can't disable it at all. You literally cannot disable the kernel anti-cheat. So that's obviously pretty shitty. That's the first issue with the game, in my opinion. And Funcom puts this Battle Eye kernel bullshit into all of their games, basically. They also, this developer has a history of doing some really shitty things inside the game as well. So with Conan Exiles, which is their previous game, even though the game is still active, you know, you can still play Conan Exiles and all of that. It's a game very, very, very similar to this game. In fact, it would not surprise me in the slightest if this game used the same exact engine as what Conan Exiles does, because it feels like the same engine, the same graphical engine. But anyway, in Conan Exiles, there have been instances where they do rollbacks. So a rollback, if you don't know what that is, a rollback is in any online game, there is a server and you play, while you're playing, the progress from your game is saved onto the server, but the server is not always 100% updated. So there's usually two versions of an online game. There's the database, the stored archived version, and then the live version. And Funcom has on multiple occasions done rollbacks just randomly, seemingly fucking completely randomly, causing a lot of people to lose a lot of progress. So you can just Google or go onto Reddit and search Funcom rollback, and I'm sure you will find a lot of people complaining about this issue. People just losing progress because Funcom decided to do a rollback for what, not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, because currently this game has a player base of 180,000 people, just lose progress. They just lose progress. They have stuff taken out of their inventory. They lose building progress. They lose experience. They lose character progress, campaign progress, all of that kind of stuff. Just randomly because Funcom decided to do a rollback. So that is the type of company that Funcom unfortunately is. They have done it with Conan Exiles multiple times, and they will very much do the same with this game as well, because they've done it with Conan Exiles in the past. And then the third issue with Funcom is that they have some really egregious cosmetic practices as well in their games. I don't know if this game has a cash shop yet. I'm not sure. I don't see a cash shop anywhere, but Conan Exiles has a cash shop, so this game will almost definitely also get a cash shop. And yeah, putting a very expensive cash shop, because the cash shop is not cheap, it's very expensive. Putting a very expensive cash shop into a $50 game, in addition to the pay-to-win 5-day head start bullshit that they already do, you know, it's just like, how fucking money-grubbing, greedy bastards do you want to be? You know, like, Funcom seemingly doesn't have a limit on the amount of money grubbing that they can do. So it's just really, really not good. In my opinion, Funcom is not a very good company to give your money to be honest. So yeah, there's that as well. So if you want my opinion on whether or not you should buy this game, I don't think you should buy this game. I don't think you should support this company at all. So with that out of the way, is the game actually fun? Is it actually recommendable, apart from the immoral bullshit and the anti-cheat and the pay-to-win bullshit and all of that kind of stuff that the developers do? Well, really, my opinion would be the same as for Conan Exiles. I have done a review of Conan Exiles maybe a couple of years ago, and my opinion of Conan Exiles is that it's just a very generic game, honestly. It's just very generic. It's a generic open world MMORPG in the worst way. Like, you get many good MMORPGs, online MMORPGs. You get many good ones. But Conan Exiles definitely is not one of those. It's not a good MMORPG at all. And unfortunately, like I said, this game is very much similar to Conan Exiles, I would not be surprised if it was based on the exact same um, system, like the exact same um, engine as what Conan Exiles is. You guys will see when I actually start playing the fucking game a little bit, once I can just uh, sort out my inventory over here quickly. You will see that the game is very similar to Conan Exiles. If you've played Conan Exiles before, you will see a lot of uh, similarities between the two games. Another issue that I have with the game, and it's a pretty big issue, is the fact that the game doesn't have crafting from storage. So right here, I want to craft stuff, but I can't craft stuff because the game doesn't have crafting from storage. So in these types of games, it is very, very important that the game has crafting from storage, because if you have to run to your storages every fucking time that you want to craft something, then you're going to be running around a hell of a lot of unnecessary times. And unfortunately, this game is one of those games where um, you're gonna have to do that because the game doesn't have crafting from storage. So, like right here, if I want to craft something, you can see I don't have scavenged the metal, I don't have plant fiber, all of that kind of stuff. But I literally have plant fiber over here, and I have a crap load of scavenged metal over here, literally thousands of it. So, yeah, the fact that the game doesn't have crafting from storage is really, really stupid. Games like this must have crafting from storage. It is basically a requirement when it comes to these types of games, because not having crafting from storage is just like, it's such a massive pain in the nutsack. Like, really, it is just incredibly irritating when a game doesn't have crafting from storage. It makes the game so much more of a schlep, because the game has crafting, and yet you can't do crafting efficiently in a game that doesn't have crafting from storage. So anytime that you want to craft something, you have to have the resources with you. Unless it's something that you can craft with a fabricator, then you don't need to do that, because the fabricator is tied into your chests in your building. But anytime you want to craft anything manually over here or out in the field as well, you have no alternative but to actually have the resources with you at that very point. So you must have the resources with you. You cannot do crafting without having the actual resources in your inventory. So that's really, really inefficient and really irritating. It wastes a lot of time with running to your various storages, putting stuff into your inventory, crafting the thing that you want to craft. After you've done that, you need to put the resources back into your storages. It's just incredibly inefficient. If you've played any of these types of games, you will know, like Grounded actually has a very, very, very good crafting from storage system. Grounded has an absolutely fantastic crafting from storage system. If you've ever played Grounded, then you will know exactly what I mean. Grounded has a fantastic crafting from storage system. And this game just doesn't. This game does have a quick deposit. So if you have something like metal, for instance, and let's take a little bit of it out over here, and then you can just come over to the storage and you press quick deposit, then it will deposit all of the stuff that is already in that storage. So since the storage already has scavenged metal, it will take any scavenged metal out of your inventory and place it over here. So that's nice, but you have to do it with every storage. So you have to go over to each of your storages and press F, 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 press F. Like, it's not nearly as efficient as the system that Grounded has, because the system that Grounded has, you don't even need to go over to your chests. You can just go into your base, you press and hold, I can't remember what the key is. Let's say that it's F. So you press and hold F. Then all of the items that are currently in your inventory that are also in your storages get immediately deposited into your storages. So it's just such a better and more efficient system than what this game has. It's far more efficient. The inventory is also very small. Like, the inventory is limited not only by inventory slots, so you only have this amount of slots, like 35 slots, but it is also limited by weight. So you are also limited by a overall weight, and everything basically has a weight. Even the gear that you're carrying right now, like the guns and your knife and stuff like that that you're wearing, and your gear as well, everything has a weight. So even though my inventory is actually basically as empty as I can get it right now, I'm already at 54 weight out of 175. So I'm already using up basically 30% of my inventory weight just by carrying the stuff that I am supposed to be carrying. So basically your weight maximum is really only about 120 right now. So I can only really carry about 120 stuff before my inventory is overweight. There's also some low quality stuff like this over here. Instead of having a animated portrait here or showing your own character here, which would make even more sense, they have this low quality, like you can literally see how pixelated it is. Low quality drawing of a character. Like, that is what you're paying $50 for. And it's just really low effort, in my opinion. It's really not what you would expect a $50 game, the quality for a $50 game to be honest. It's just really, it's pretty low quality, to be honest. But yeah, that's Funcom. That's what you're paying $50 for. The research system is exactly the same research system as what you get in Conan Exiles. Exactly the same system, which, as I said, there's a lot of similarities between Conan Exiles in this game. And like, I don't mind paying $50 for a good MMORPG. But if it's a recycled fucking game, such as this game is, you know, I mean, when did Conan Exiles come out? Probably like many years ago, 6 years ago, or at least. So you're paying $50 for a 6-year-old game engine. Like, that's just really shitty, honestly. Yeah. So, and anyway, the game is very similar to Conan Exiles, as I already explained. The game has a building system, just like Conan Exiles. The game has a storage system, just like Conan Exiles. You basically can run around and place this thing over here, which is like a marker which will keep your base uh, alive, I guess I can say. Unfortunately, this game has the same really shitty system as what Conan Exiles has, in that there is decay. So the game has decay, and your base will decay if it is not powered. And your base can also get torn down by other players if it is... let me just check my fuel. Okay, yes, my fuel seems okay. Your base can also get torn down by other players if it is not powered. So I think this base over here might be unpowered. Let's quickly have a look over here, because I have actually torn down multiple bases of other players already. It's actually a very good way to get resources, actually. Like, you could go out and harvest and stuff like that, but honestly, destroying other people's bases is a very good way to get resources. So let's see, is this one... Okay, no, this one is closed. So this one is powered currently. And this door is also closed, yeah. So this is a powered base. You can have a look in there. But there are a lot of bases. I'm sure we will find a couple while we are running around. There are a lot of bases in the world that are other people's bases that are not powered. So my base has been, like, I haven't played the game in about 3 days. I played it on day 1 and day 2, but I haven't played it since then. So my base has fortunately been powered because I put a lot of batteries into my base, because, yes, this base is unpowered. If you don't do that, if you don't power your base, then you lose everything. So this base over here is not powered, so I can literally open my building tool, then I can go down to demolish, and then just like this, I can destroy this guy's entire base, and there I got 75 granite stone from doing that. So I just got 75 granite stone by destroying another player's base. So that is really shitty in my opinion. Like, it's good for the player who is doing it, you know, because you're getting a lot of resources very easily and very quickly. Is this one unpowered? It doesn't look unpowered. So it's good for the player who gets the resources, but it's really, really, really bad for the player who has their base destroyed. Because imagine spending like many days farming resources, collecting resources, stockpiling your resources in your base, and then obviously normal people have jobs, normal people have lives and families, so you might forget to add batteries to your base, perhaps, you know, perhaps you forget one day to add batteries to your base, so then you come back on the weekend or whatever, and you find your base completely destroyed, completely demolished. Like this guy's base. Okay, this one does seem powered. Yes, this one is powered. He just left his base open for some reason. But yeah, this one is powered, so I won't be able to destroy this one. But imagine you spend a week building a base like this. This is actually a nice base. It's pretty big. Nice storage. He's got a nice little room over there. He's got stuff that I don't even have in my base yet. And then someone will just come along and destroy your base. Because you didn't stock it up with enough batteries to keep the area claiming module running the whole time, you know. So it's really, really shitty. Even though I am playing on a PvE realm, you know, I'm not playing on a PvP realm or anything like that. I'm literally playing on a PvE realm, and yet you see this one has no power. So I'm playing on a PvE realm, and the players and all players are still able to come and destroy your shit. So just like here, I can just run around and destroy all of this guy's stuff. He clearly put some effort into this base, not a huge amount of effort probably, but some effort. And I can just come here, take all of his stuff. He's actually got a lot of batteries. So I'm just gonna deposit all of the batteries. That's a nice amount of batteries. Nice amount of stuff over there. All of these resources I just got from these two bases. And that's actually quite a lot of resources, I have to tell you. Like, it's a lot of fuel cells especially. And fuel cells are actually pretty important. We can also just collect these over here quickly. So, it's a PvE realm that I'm playing on right now. And yet I can go around destroying other people's bases. I just think that's a really shitty game design. Like, honestly, it will be very demoralizing to a lot of people who perhaps don't understand the mechanics of the game from the beginning. And then they will spend a lot of effort building a base, all of that kind of stuff. They might not know that you really have to focus on putting enough batteries into your storage thing, and then they will come back and they will find their entire base that they spent hours on just completely destroyed, as those two people unfortunately will find out when they come back online. So, like, that's not nice. I don't think that is good game design in the slightest. And it's unfortunately the same way how Conan Exiles works. In Conan Exiles as well, there is a really shitty decay mechanic, and your base can decay and your base can be salvaged by other players. I just think that's a really not fun. It's fun for the 5% of players who are doing the salvaging, but it's not fun in the slightest for the other 95% of players who are getting their shit salvaged and their bases destroyed and all of that kind of stuff, you know. So for that reason, I myself, as a PvE player, I prefer to play PvE, I would not play this game. I would not invest a lot of time into the game until there is either a offline solo mode, which there isn't in the game. You literally cannot play the game offline or solo. Or just once they remove that mechanic from the game, you know. So yeah, I don't like that entire mechanic fundamentally. And I can tell you right now, if I were to come online after not playing the game for a couple of days and find all of my shit gone and my entire base ransacked and destroyed, I would uninstall the game and I would request a refund from Steam. Even though I received this game for free, but you know what I mean. If I bought this game if I actually had to pay money for this game, I would be absolutely fucking livid if that were to happen to me. Like, absolutely livid. Because it really is not something that is explained to the player at all, really. So yeah, like here right now, I have 21 days of time that this one generator will keep my base alive. So I can go offline right now for 21 days and my base will still be fine. And then over a year, I have another 16 days. We can actually deposit more. There I now have 21 days. So that's 42 days in total. And then a year I have another 9 days, so that's about 50 days. And then here I have another 15 days, so that's about 65 days. So I can go offline right now pretty comfortably for 2 months, pretty much. Come back to the game after 2 months and my base will still be here, it will still be powered and all of that kind of stuff, because I have collected a lot of batteries, a lot of these fuel cells, and yeah, like how much does it take to power it? 260. So 260 batteries, fuel cells, can keep your base alive for 21 days. So it takes a little bit more than 10 batteries per day in order to keep your base alive and to stop it from being ransacked by other players. So yeah. But I really don't like the mechanic. Even though I won't be affected by the mechanic for 60 days. Like I said, it's just a really shitty, non-user-friendly mechanic, in my opinion. It's just not fun. Like, the developers have to ask themselves, why did we add this mechanic? Did we add this mechanic to make the game more obtuse and shitty? Or did we add the mechanic to actually make the game more fun, to make it more enjoyable for all players involved? And yeah, this mechanic will not in the slightest be fun for the ransacking, you know? So yeah, not a good mechanic in the slightest, in my opinion. Even though I am benefiting from the mechanic, you always have to put yourself into the position of the player who's getting F'd in the A, and you have to tell yourself, would I be fun? Would I have fun, or would I be having fun if I was getting F'd in the A right now by logging on and having my entire base just destroyed. My entire base just gone. That guy's base over there is actually bigger than mine, and then there's another one over here. Oh no, it's gone. There was a base over there actually. It's gone now. Like, really, it's... I can't imagine the amount of people I actually would want to check the Steam forums to check how many people there are that are complaining, like, where's my base, developers? What happened to my base? You know, and then some fucking developer who is unfortunately in charge of moderating the Steam forum will have to go on there and explain, oh, well, actually, it's part of the game mechanics, actually, and actually, it's your own fault for not providing batteries to your base. So please try again. You will learn from your mistake. You know, that kind of bullshit. I just think it's not a good mechanic in the slightest, you know. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a battery. Even though I don't... Yeah, if we're gonna go on a long journey, we actually need a battery. I can't remember where I put my batteries. That's another... Oh, over here. That's another issue. You can't see what is inside the storages. So in a lot of good games, they allow you to see what is inside the storages by like small icons or stuff like that. And unfortunately in this game, they don't allow you to do that. So yeah, unfortunately in this game, they don't allow you to see what is inside the storages at all, which once again makes the inventory management and the crafting and all of that kind of stuff in the game just far more obtuse than what it needs to be, you know. The crafting and the inventory management and all of that kind of stuff in the game doesn't need to be obtuse, you know. The developers can do a lot of stuff to mitigate the shittiness of the um, inventory management, you know, the inventory management and just the overall crafting mechanic of the entire game. Because I mean, these games are essentially just like collect a whole bunch of stuff, craft new gear, go out, collect better stuff, craft new gear, go out, collect even better stuff. Like, it's just a never-ending cycle of crafting and collecting. And unfortunately, the crafting and collecting in this game could have been a lot better than what it currently is. It's just not good right now. And it's not good in Conan Exiles either. You would have thought that these developers would have learned from Conan Exiles, but yeah, unfortunately they haven't. So I need to go over there for my quest, and then over there as well. Apparently, no, that's just that I just need to go kill someone over there. Where do I actually need to go? The game is open world, but you unlock the map as you progress. So it's not like literally open world. You unlock more of the map as you go up, and you can't go over here at all. So there are areas of the map where you cannot go at all. So the game isn't really open world. It's just like kind of open world, basically. It's like semi-open world, I guess you could say. Travel to Imperial weapon testing. Okay. So that's over there. It's not too far away, fortunately, so we can go over there. I don't just want to constantly bitch and moan about the game. I at least want to show you a little bit of the game that I am bitching and moaning about. So I want to show you a little bit of combat and stuff like that, obviously. The controls of the speeder type motorbike thing is not very good. So that's why I'm running into a lot of stuff. You will also see that the combat is pretty shitty, honestly. There's very, very little impact to the game's combat, just as it is in Conan Exiles as well. The combat in Conan Exiles is pretty shitty. And once again, you would have thought that they at least would have learned from their previous game, but unfortunately, they don't seem to have learned very much at all, unfortunately. The rundown on this area is completely unnecessary. It's way too long of a rundown for way too little reward, honestly. I've already been inside this place once. I've already listened to all of this because it says replay. So in these areas, these special building areas, you get blue, there's like a blue resource type thing that you get. It's like a rare resource. You get green resources, white resources, blue resources, purple resources. And it's obviously based on rarity. And in this area, you get blue resources. So there at the top left, it says collect 6 particle capacitors and 13 advanced servox. So that's what I'm supposed to do in this area.
I am the station supervisor, Dr.
It's strange that I can't go through here because I already collected the identification badge for that thing previously. So why do they... It's like the game reset for some reason. It just doesn't make sense. I've already been here and I've already collected the identification badge. There's a couple of dudes in here. Oh, and they're already seeing me. So at the very beginning of the game, you can choose different classes. And I chose the mech class, which is able to drop a drone on the ground, and it's a stationary turret drone, and then it just shoots stuff that comes close. It's pretty useless for running around in fast combat, but for slow combat like this, like moving room to room, it's okay. You know, you can pretty quickly get the thing to be off cooldown again. That's another thing with a lot of the dead guys. They do these jazz hands, like they go like jazz hands. A lot of them do that, and it's actually also something that you would see in Conan Exiles as well, if you've played Conan Exiles before. So yeah, like I said, the game has a lot of recycled shit from Conan Exiles, which is super fantastic, because that absolutely makes the game worth $50, of course. I love paying $50 for recycled bullshit. So my turret is just standing over there shooting them. And then, of course, if you've watched the Dune movies, you will know that in the Dune movies they suck the blood from uh, enemies, or at least they don't suck the blood, they actually suck the water straight out of them. In this game, you suck the blood out of them, and then you have to um, purify or filter the blood. So it doesn't work exactly the same as it does in the movies. I've never read the books of Dune. I know that there's books of Dune. And I'm actually someone who has played the original Dune game, the very first Dune game from like 19 whatever, 85 or whatever, that very first Dune strategy game. I actually played that when I was very young, and it's a very, very good game. For the time, obviously, if you have to play it today, you will lose your fucking mind, but it was a very good game in my opinion. But yeah, I've never read the books. Even though I'm allergic to reading, so I haven't read a lot of books, to be honest. I prefer to read on Wikipedia and stuff like that, but I don't own a single book, honestly. So my turret just sits over there and shoots everyone. Yeah, the hitboxes in this game is so shitty that I literally stood over here. I shot her right at her fucking head and it didn't do anything because the hitboxes in the game are so bad and the environmental design of the game is so bad that the game doesn't allow you to shoot that accurate. You can't shoot through that gap. So yeah, $50 game, by the way. Were those the only two guys? Yes, I think so, but there was some other guys over there that died. There should be another guy around here somewhere, because the combat music is still playing. Even though I'm not seeing anything. Okay, my turret is dealing with them. So basically in these dungeons, you just run around, loot all of the chests, loot all of the enemies, and that's it. That's the entire dungeon. It's really, really basic. I already listened to this one. I'm just basically here to collect 6 of those things and 13 of the other ones. It's basically all. It's also difficult to see the corpses on the ground very often. There was a corpse over here, but now it disappeared. But that's another thing that I haven't mentioned before. the corpses disappear and resources also disappear. So you will throw resources on the ground, or you will just leave resources on the ground thinking that you are able to come back to get it later. But no, the resources disappear within like a minute sometimes. Like this corpse that was over there, I literally just killed that corpse and now the corpse is gone. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is one of those games where corpses and resources just randomly disappear for no fucking reason. So that's super fantastic. Okay, and that one just disappeared while I was busy sucking out the blood. That's the exact fucking thing that I was just talking about. Sometimes it's not even a minute, and then resources or corpses will disappear. It's really fucking stupid, honestly. The entire game is based on collecting resources, harvesting resources, storing resources, and yet your resources fucking disappear after like a minute. Like, where's the logic in that? It's like, hey, collect all of the resources that you can before they fucking disappear. There's two guys up there. There's also the one type of enemy. I don't know if we will be able to see that type of enemy in today's live stream, but they have a shield. There's like this special blue shield that comes around them, and they are literally invulnerable to damage while they have that shield thing, except to melee damage. So you have to kill them in melee combat. Those guys with those blue shields. It's the most irritating fucking thing ever. Because what's the point of having guns and stuff like that and having ranged abilities and ranged combat in general, but then you make some of the enemies in the game completely immune to ranged combat. It's just really, really stupid. Okay, so we have all of the stuff that we need for that thing, for that quest. By the way, I haven't said it yet, but this is the very first stream that I'm doing with my new graphics card. So I got a new graphics card like a couple of days ago, and this is the very first stream that I'm doing with my new 5080. So previously I had a 3080, and I've had that 3080 for probably around 5 years pretty much. And yeah, now I have a 5080. So I'm able to hopefully provide you guys with less stuttery and just overall smoother gameplay. Even though this game was stuttering with my 3080, like literally the settings that I'm running it on right now, which doesn't look good. Like the settings that I'm running it on right now, I can show you over here. These are the exact settings that I had it on. So you can see here, view distance medium, low post-processing, medium, 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 and then low, low, shadows medium, and then the DLSS is on as well, because the game actually doesn't allow native. The game literally doesn't have a native option. You can only use upscaling or downscaling. There's no native option. So in any way, I had that on low over there as well, because it has a high GPU performance impact. And then we're running the game at 2K resolution, but we are downscaling it by, well, 263%, which actually should be like maybe around 1080p, a little bit above 1080p maybe. So we're running the game actually on very, very low settings, very low quality. As you can see, the game doesn't look good, you know, and yet the game was still lagging. The game was still not able to get 60 FPS with a 3080. So the game is really, really terribly optimized. The optimization of the game is really fucking terrible. Which is another reason why I haven't streamed the game in the past 5 days that I actually had access to the game. It's just, I couldn't be bothered, honestly. Because if the game's gonna run like dog shit and look like dog shit, then this is a melee guy. So this guy you actually have to like that. That fucker is literally immune to range the damage. Like my turret was shooting at it constantly. Because you can literally only damage those guys with melee damage. So that's fucking brilliant game design right there. Like, there's holy shit, who are you? Oh, you're a dude. Okay. The game actually has multiple skills, like over here, for added ranged damage and stuff like that. Like you can see here, added ranged damage, headshot damage, a whole bunch of stuff like that. And yet, there's more headshot damage. And yet, there are enemies in the game that are completely immune to all of that. So what the fuck is the point of having skills, various skills, and stuff like that in the game that you can't even use in a lot of situations in the game? It's just really, really counterintuitive. Like that would be like having like World of Warcraft, for instance, and you can only heal, like if you're a monk or a shaman or a priest or a paladin, you can only heal 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time you can't heal. Like what the fuck would be the use of that? You've got an entire specialization in the game, like the ranged specialization in this game, and yet you can't use it in a lot of the combat situations in the game against guys like that are shielded. Like they're completely immune to range damage. I just think that is the stupidest fucking thing ever. Like, the developer who came up with that bullshit is just like so stupid, honestly. So yeah, basically in a lot of situations in the game, even though you might be specialized for um, ranged combat and you might have a very good ranged weapon and all of that kind of stuff, you still are forced to carry a melee weapon with you at all times, and you also should probably make sure that you have a pretty good melee weapon, because in cases like that you have no alternative except to kill the guy with a melee weapon. And so fortunately I have a melee weapon, even though it's a little bit broken, but it does the job. But my melee weapon is not nearly as good as my ranged weapon. So yeah, that entire thing just makes
Welcome to Desert
the
Botanical Testing Station.
game balancing, in my opinion, really broken and stupid. Why is there combat music? I already killed everyone. There can't be more combat music because everyone is dead. These guys already respawned. I did loot them when I came in, but apparently they already respawned. Because respawning in the game is also very fast. Like sometimes you will kill an enemy and they will respawn like literally in 30 seconds. I think that's pretty much it. So this was essentially a dungeon. Like these are the dungeons of the game. You go in, kill a couple guys, loot a couple things, and then you're done. And then if you are unlucky, you will face a blue guy or two. Like a shielded guy. And then you have to run all the way out again. The game also doesn't have fast travel, which is really irritating. It makes the game so much slower than what it needs to be. Yeah, the stuff on that guy respawned as well, even though I looted him like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, we have another quest completed. Why is there batteries over here? Backpack full. Okay, we need to store all of the blood that we collected. You put the blood into these blood filters, blood purifiers, and then you get water from that. Three fuel cells. Why is there only 3 fuel cells? The base is still active because I still see lights over there. Okay, so I have a quest to fabricate sand bike thread. If that was actually in the game or not. That was very weird. Oh, anyway, I will check the stream afterwards. Why the hell am I dropping frames now all of a sudden again? The game was running perfect all along, and now all of a sudden I'm dropping frames again. Okay, let's see if that's better now. So I need another chassis, hull, and tread. Okay, so I don't seem to have a chassis or a hull anywhere. Unless I'm blind. So we have to craft a chassis and a hull. Okay, there we go, we have those. Now we're probably gonna have to build the bloody thing already, although I already did that. Okay, so I already did that. Drive the sand bike, that I can do.
That's it, Offworlder. You're ready. I'm waiting at Mirzabah. That's the great rock formation that looks like a giant hammer. Be careful. Vehicles are fast, but nothing can outrun Shai-Hulud. You can only hope to get between safe areas more quickly. I'll see you soon.
Okay, moving on is actually a very important quest milestone that I need for a lot of my research, because unfortunately the game locks a lot of the research, like all of these, behind various quests. So I have enough points to do all of these researches, and yet you can see their journey moving on there at the bottom. Journey moving on, journey moving on. All of these are locked behind journey moving on, which is a pain in the fucking nutsack. So I have to do this quest, or I can't move on, so to say. Which is really stupid, but anyway. So we're gonna put those there. I don't need two of these, I only need one. That's okay, I guess. I just would have liked it if you had a bigger inventory so that you don't need to constantly fucking manage your amount of inventory stuff that you have. But anyway, that's the game, I guess. Okay, so we're pretty much done. We just take a final sip of water before we go out. That's very important always. And then where do we need to go now? Drive north to the Vermillis Gap. Research the advanced construction kit. Can I do that? Advanced construction kit. No, I need moving on. Where's the Vermillis Gap? Western Vermillis Gap. Is that where I need to go? Relocate. Oh, so you can relocate something. Okay, that will be useful. If you can actually relocate something, that'll be useful. Oh yeah, and the fact that you can only equip 8 things at a time is also really stupid. It's a completely arbitrary and unnecessary limitation. Okay, copy building. Okay, so we've got the building copied now, hopefully. Yeah, that looks like it. Um, okay, so now drive north to the Vermilius Gap. So I guess I just have to go north. There's not even any marker or anything. It just says drive north, which is super fucking useful. But okay, I guess we just drive north. Breaker, how don't I have that one yet? Intel 0 out of 1. Well, I need to go get that. Intel is important. So let's see if I can get that intel. Another one of those fuckers with a shield. How dare you attack me while I'm sucking someone? Never attack someone when they're busy sucking. It's not good etiquette. It's also really stupid that everyone is dressed exactly the same. Like, that's not the type of quality that you expect in a $50 game. Like, it's really lazy, as if a developer was just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. It's not worth $50. I mean, fucking hell. A game like Witcher 3 is worth $50. A game that they actually put some fucking effort into. This game is so lazy when compared to a game like Witcher 3. It's not even funny. So I'm supposed to get the intel. Is it this one? Ah, there we go. They always hide the intel a little bit, which is why I didn't find that one the first time that I was here, because I was here previously, but I didn't search well enough, I guess. Also, the fact that you can see stuff like this through the terrain is also just super fantastic. Look at that, you can see the light literally through the wall. $50 game, by the way. I think we're done here. Let's just relay the intel that we needed. Okay, so now we just head north, I guess. There's no real location that they told us. So one thing is that there is a worm, obviously that because it's Dune, there's worms, and you shouldn't really go from you shouldn't really go long distances between stuff. You should actually go from a mountainous area to another mountainous area, actually. So I might get the worm on my ass right now. Yeah. So the worm was there to the right side. So you could see after a while the worm starts to hunt you if you basically go too long of a period over the sand. Then the worm starts to hunt you. So the idea is that you must go from rock to rock to rock like a fucking cockroach, so that the worm doesn't notice you and hunt you. This is iron ore, which is a resource that I haven't encountered yet, obviously. Now, because we are in the new area, the new biome, we're gonna encounter some resources that we haven't encountered previously, which will obviously unlock new things for us. From these you get armor plating, which is pretty rare. Whoops. Two fuckers. Okay, we just need to get out of the sun over here. And then we can drink a little bit of water. Oh yeah, and you can also climb like fucking Genshin Impact in this game. Or like Legend of Zelda, I guess. Do I need to get up there? There is a mechanic in the game where if you get high enough, then you can shoot a probe into the air, and then that will reveal the surrounding area. I don't know if this is high enough. Let's have a look. Additional 63 meters. Okay, how much is that actually? Okay, is that enough? Okay, definitely not. I guess you have to go up there or up there. Okay. What resource is this? Just normal rock. Oh yeah, just normal rock. Just looks a little bit strange. More shielded motherfuckers. Why are you not dead yet? How the hell did that guy not die there? That's the first time ever that I've seen a guy not die after actually like being hit to the ground. And there was even that little skull icon. I mean, the fucking skull icon shouldn't come up if the guy is not dead yet. How does that make any sense? Like, what do the developers think a skull means? Skull means the fucker is dead. Another mechanic in the game is that you have to stay out of the sun. If you stay in the sun too much, with that little bar at the top of your screen, then you get like sun exposure, and then you don't have a good time. Then you lose water very quickly. I'm assuming you piss yourself when you get sun exposure. I don't know. I've never had sun exposure. Okay, well, I don't see anything else. I'm assuming that's all, maybe. What does our map tell us? Well, not a whole lot, to be honest. But okay, I guess we can move on. I actually need to drink water. Let's drink water quickly. I actually didn't bring a whole lot of water with me. That's a big machine. So where do we actually want to go? I'm assuming we need to go more north. Well, this looks like a nice place to explore. And let's place our base over here. How do we place our base? This one over here. 5. How do you... Must be placed on your land. So what, do I have to build a console? Is that what you're telling me? I need to build a console. Okay. So how do you... I can't see... I can't see when I'm actually able to build it or not. How the hell are you supposed to see? Change width, change... Oh. Like, why is it so fucking difficult? Why couldn't they make it easier? Bloody hell. Okay, so clearly this is maybe not the best place. Can we move it? Demolish. Yes. Just choose a better place. Less surrounded by shit, I guess. You don't want to build on the sand. That is a big no-no. I guess I can put it here. It's not technically on the sand, I don't think. Let's see. So why doesn't it allow me to build over there? Is it bumping into something, or what's the problem? Like seriously, if the game can't tell me what the problem is, then like, what the hell? I mean, it's not good, but I mean, what the hell can I do? Confirm. It doesn't want to get confirmed. I'm literally left clicking and it's not confirming. Seriously, how obtuse can you make something as simple as just placing a pre-built building? Like, see, even over there, it's not allowing me to do it. And it's so stupid that it doesn't tell you why it doesn't allow you to do it. The problem is you can't build on the sand too much. Like, you really need to kind of stay away from the sand. Okay, that looks good. Fucking finally! Holy balls. Okay. Is it gonna, like, what is it gonna do? How do I... Do I need to take my boulder? Oh, okay. And then... Uh, but this will... This will... This isn't what they said. They said move. So I mean, I could build like this, you know. I could build it like this, but this will... I don't understand. This isn't moving. This is just rebuilding my entire base, which means that my entire base that is over there how do I actually move it then? So Soledo replicator allowed me to store a blueprint of my base, which can then be placed down elsewhere. I still need to deconstruct the old base manually, but the resources could then be reused. This allows to move my center of operation as needed, which will surely be... So why don't they say that? They just fucking say research, fabricate, copy. They don't say that you need to deconstruct your old base. That's a fucking pain in the nutsack. And now I don't have water. I literally don't have a source of water here. Well, I could drink this, I guess. Yeah, and I can't drink anymore. That's really stupid. Hello, Wormy. How are you? Good, I hope. You've been eating a lot, I see. That's really stupid. The fucking tutorial literally said, move the base. Move. It didn't say anything about, oh, okay, you first have to deconstruct your old shit in order to move the base. It didn't say anything like that. So now I have to collect a bunch of resources again from the start. And actually, like, I can't tell you how much of a pain in the nutsack it's gonna be. Because literally all of my water, what the hell was that? I don't know what that is. Literally all of my water and everything is at the other base, so like that's pretty bloody brutal. Okay, so we put that down. Yeah, except so I'm gonna have to make this base a lot smaller than the other base. I can't even build any of this because I don't have enough salvaged metal. Fantastic. And then I also need a blood refinery, which also is salvaged metal. So I'm gonna have to get a lot of salvaged metal. Why don't you want to build it there? Just fucking... I just want to build it there, you bastard. Why don't you want to just work with me? What's wrong with you? It literally doesn't want to build it there. Absolute pain in the nutsack. There we go. Okay, I need a little bit more. I'm probably gonna die of thirst soon. Fortunately, I did set my respawn point over here. I need a little bit of rock. Where's those flowers? Okay, so we are sheltered finally. Now we need to build a fuel generator. Come on, you bastard. Okay, so I should be getting water now. This is basically all you need to just like literally survive. You know, you need a sheltered place so that you don't lose water anymore, and so that you're shielded from the heat, and then you need power, and then you need a blood circulator thing. Now my question is, can you teleport between the different bases? So that's my backpack. You can't access your other base's storage. So how do you fast travel? I mean, I'm assuming the game doesn't have fast travel, which is just really obtuse. Because I mean, an open world game like this without fast traveling, that's a real pain in the nutsack. But I'm assuming that's how the game works, honestly. I need a lot more salvaged metal. I can store some stuff here, not a lot. like iron ore. I cannot add more inventory items to this inventory. Why not? Oh, the weight is 50. That's a very small weight. Okay, well, I'm getting water at least. Ugh, but yeah, guys, like honestly, I don't think I'm in the mood to play more of the game, honestly. Let me quickly just have a look just before I end to see if at all the game has fast traveling, because that would make me hate the game a little bit less. Let me just have a look here quickly. Well, they're saying that once you unlock the ornithopter, ornithopter, which is the flying helicopter type thing, then obviously the game becomes a lot less of a pain in the nutsack, you know. So I guess that's okay, but obviously I don't know when you will get there. You know, right now for me, I would like to go back to my previous base, just because having to rebuild my base is a pain in the nutsack. And really the fact that you're going to unlock a faster travel method later on in the game, but it's still not as fast as fast traveling and as convenient as fast traveling, you know, that doesn't instill any confidence, to be honest. So yeah, unfortunately, the game is probably going to remain a real pain in the nutsack, you know, having to constantly refill your base with batteries, having to monitor and maintain your water intake, especially in this top zone, which is hotter than the bottom zone, and then probably the higher you go, the hotter it will get. So it will get even hotter than this zone, to be honest, which means it will get even more of a schlep to manage your water, probably. And no fast travel. It's just really a pain in the nutsack, you know. It's not what I would consider an enjoyable experience, you know. And then obviously, like I said already, the inventory is way too small, in my opinion. The research system is completely obtuse. I have 26 intel right now, and yet I can't research a single thing because everything is locked behind this moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna be moving on to the next fucking game and uninstalling this thing because the game is just a real pain in the nutsack, honestly. Otherwise than that, obviously, as I already said, the game has a pay to win 5-day early access. If you pay like $20 extra or whatever, The game has a third-party launcher, so as soon as you start the game up, it goes into a third-party launcher instead of actually starting the game. So then from the third-party launcher, you have to start the game, which is fucking stupid. The game also has BattleEye kernel anti-cheat bullshit, which you can't turn off. Even if you play solo, which you can't play solo offline. The game is always online. So that's really fucking stupid. While we're on the topic of always online, the game has a absolutely bafflingly idiotic, honestly one of the most idiotic server systems that I've ever seen. You get different servers. So let me show you guys over here. You get different servers. Every server can only host something like 160 people, I think. But there can only be something like 40 people in a server at any one time. So it doesn't show you here, but I read online that it's like on one server there can be 160, but there can't actually be 160 people logged in. There can only be 160 characters on that server. There can only be something like 40 characters logged into a single server at any one time. So all of the servers that say hi, you can't actually log into them. Like this character that I had over here, this one over here on this server over here. It says level 0, but I did actually play on that character a little bit. And then the next day or a couple of hours later, I can't remember, when I wanted to continue to play on that character, I couldn't play on that character anymore because it said server full. So even though I had a character already on that server, I couldn't play on my character because the server was full. So then you have to wait until someone goes off of the server in order for you to just play your fucking character. And as you can see, there are no servers that have low population. All of them are either medium or high. So it's really, really fucking stupid. And if you think about something like Enshrouded, for instance, or Pal World, for instance, basically any game that has an online or a co-op aspect, they allow you to create private servers. So you can play on a private server which is essentially offline, because you can create a server, you can put a password on that server, and you can only share the password with the people who you want to be able to join that server, or you can simply play alone. You can play alone on Pale World or on Enshrouded or on a myriad of other games as well. You just create a server and you can play on that server on your own. That is something that you cannot do on this game without paying money. So you can pay money to buy your own private server. The game does not allow you to play solo or play on your own or create your own server. You have to pay money in order to do that, which I think is the absolute fucking straw that broke the camel's back. In addition to the game being $50, and in addition to you having to pay $20 extra to play the game 5 days early, and in addition to the monetization stuff that the game is absolutely going to have, because Conan Exiles has the exact same egregious monetization bullshit. in addition to all of that shit, you have to pay money, a monthly fee. It's not a once-off, it's a monthly fee just in order to play solo. And if you don't do that, then it will happen to you like it happened to me over here, or even on this character. It can totally happen on this character, where you want to play your character, and then you can't play your character because the server is full. So then your character that you've spent 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours playing on is just useless. You can't play on your character when you want to play on your character if the server is full. So it's a $50 game that you can't even play when you want to play it. I think that's absolute bullshit. I think like that alone should tell you everything that you need to know about the game. The game is not playable when you want it to be playable. And then obviously, as I said already, no single player, the servers are full constantly, resources disappear constantly, corpses disappear constantly. There's the really shitty building decay system, which means that now that I'm gonna stop playing the game and I'm gonna uninstall the game, after a while my shit will be up for grabs by someone. So someone will walk around and see, here's a guy who has spent 10 hours playing the game, but he forgot to add batteries to his base, so now I'm gonna steal all of his shit. And I just think that is a really, really shitty game. The inventory is really, really small as well. The game runs like shit, as I said, with a 3080 RTX and a 5700 X3D chip, which is a very good chip and a very good graphics card. The game was not able to maintain 60 FPS at 2K resolution on low quality. It was not able to maintain 60 FPS at 2K resolution. So the game runs really, really shittily. It obviously runs very well now that I have a much more powerful graphics card, but yeah, if you have anything below a 3080, then you're not going to be able to get 60 FPS at 2K resolution on a low quality in the game. And then also the game doesn't allow you to play the game without upscaling or downscaling. There is forced upscaling or downscaling. You literally cannot play the game natively. The game does not allow you to play the game natively, which is absolute fucking bullshit. And that is a sign that the developers know their game runs like dog shit. That is why they force you to have upscaling or downscaling. That is when you know that the developer knows that their game is dog shitly optimized. So yeah, you also can't change the resolution when you're playing on windowed full screen, which is another really shitty thing that you wouldn't expect in a $50 game, honestly. I've played $10 games that allow you to change the resolution on windowed full screen, and yet this is a $50 game that doesn't allow you to do that. So yeah, guys, honestly, I can't recommend the game in the slightest. I couldn't recommend Conan Exiles either, and unfortunately, this being Funcom are just not a very good company in my opinion. They're not very good at making games. They're not very good at being pro-consumer, and it's just not a game that I can recommend in the fucking slightest, especially not for $50. Maybe if the game was $20 or something like that, something actually reasonable, then maybe I could recommend the game, maybe. But for $50 and then an additional $20 if you want to play the game 5 days early, and then an additional like whatever $10, $15, $20 per month if you want to play the game solo. I mean, it's just, where does it fucking end, you know? So yeah, I can't recommend the game in the slightest. Thanks to the developers for sending me a key, but honestly, I'm gonna uninstall this game. I'm not gonna touch this game ever again, probably, unless they make some really, really big changes to the game. Because honestly, all this game really makes me want to do is, it makes me want to play a better open world RPG. You know, something like Enshrouded, even though Enshrouded is still in early access. Even maybe Grounded, even though Grounded is, yeah, it's kind of similar to this game, kind of, you know. But really, this game is just, it's just not good. Really, it's just not good. So, yeah, I can't recommend it, and honestly, no jokes, I'm gonna uninstall the game after this. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. As always, if you like the reviews, if you want to see more reviews, if you want to enable me and allow me to do more reviews, then your support on patreon.com/LFP would be very much appreciated. It directly allows me to purchase more games and do more reviews for you guys. Also, I am gonna do an unboxing of my 5080, and it goes without saying that I wouldn't be able to buy a 5080 if it wasn't for your support on Patreon as well. So it allows me to improve and make the quality of my content and my streams better as well. So yeah, your support is very much appreciated. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.